Hey everyone, let's go ahead and take a peek at my rental car in Michigan for the week here. It's a 2024 Jeep Compass Limited. So it's one of the higher trims. This platform's been pretty stagnant for a little while here, so just kind of going through and seeing what makes this one. This car has been refreshed, I think, several times at this point. This is the second to the top of the trims. This is a limited, and yeah, I just wanted to get a quick look at it, check it out. Starting off, we have these nice LED headlights here, as well as some fog lights down below. They don't look LED, but they might be. But we can see here with the headlights, we do have LED reflector style. We do have this kind of strip right here for the running light, and then it looks like some halogen turn signals right there. We have our classic Jeep 7-slotted grille, which looks pretty nice in this configuration, kind of like these the inserts in between there. And then this one is the two-tone with the silver body. This is the silver two-tone with the black roof and mirrors, and then the silver body here. I believe that's something like a $600 option, and it does look pretty good in this color. Some good contrast. Coming down to the wheels here, we've got some 225 55 R18 tires on there, so 18-inch rims. They look pretty nice. It's kind of a machine-faced wheel. They paint the whole thing black and they just machine off this this piece right here and make it look pretty nice. Pretty standard tires on it. Come over to the side. You can see have our Compass badging there with kind of black inserts in there, and then silver around that, as well as some lower black plastic cladding and fender cladding. Alright, see there's a little bit of sun damage here. This car has 25,000 miles, so it's definitely been around the block. But yeah, from a side profile, it does look pretty good. It looks a little short in my opinion, and one of the most comical things from the inside is this window right here is super small. Like, it's like a tiny little piece in there. This one does come with the keyless access, so you just put your hands there. You can lock it like that, and then hands behind to actually unlock it. Coming around to the rear, have some pretty basic looking tail lights, and we can see our limited badging, 4x4 badging. And the weird thing is this badging back here is different than that Compass badging on the side, which is strange. I believe these are just halogen lights in there. And yeah, we have some basic lower black plastic cladding again, and we do have parking sensors, which don't seem to be very active. They don't turn on really all the time. I've noticed a couple times. In general, the safety systems on this car are pretty screwed up. So I'm not sure if there's a problem with this specific rental, or if that's them in general having that problems. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look under the hood. Let's take a look under the hood. We can see here's our hood latch. Go ahead and pop that. And here we can see we have a 2-liter turbo engine producing 200 horsepower and 221 foot-pounds of torque. This is not a quick car at all. In fact, it is very, very slow. And again, not sure if that's this specific rental. The powertrain modulation and calibration is also pretty terrible. But you can see we do have some under the hood covering there for some sound deadening. Pretty simple looking engine. And it's rated at mid 20s, I think 25 in the city and then like 32 or so on the highway. In mixed combined driving, I was seeing around 30 miles per gallon, which is pretty good. Now let's take a look at the rear space. No power liftgate on this one, even though it is a pretty high trim. Looking inside, we do have some nice lower storage on either side there, along with some hooks for tying down, as well as hooks up here. We do have some lighting back here on each side, some grocery hook bags again on each side. Underneath here, if we push right here, we can see decent amount more space. This one just comes with a fix-a-flat kit. Looks like you could probably fit a temporary spare down there though. And also the shelving unit can go, it looks like, one notch lower. Additionally, these rear seats do fold down, giving you more space. With just this amount of space right here, it is pretty spacious for being a pretty compact SUV at around 27 cubic feet. And then of course, if you want, you can also put down the seats. I think mine a little too far forward. It does look like they fold pretty flat though. So mostly flat. That's the one that's actually all the way down. Overall, considering the length of this car is around 173 inches, which is definitely a pretty small little compact crossover, it does have pretty good room overall. Now taking a look at the back seat. Door opens pretty wide, not quite as wide as the CR-V or some other competitors. CR-V is not in the class. It does open pretty wide, not quite 90 degrees, but definitely wide enough to help you get in there. Taking a look at the rear door materials, do have a nice soft touch right here where your arm's gonna rest, as well as up here, along with some nice stitching. Hard plastic right there, and then hard plastic up on the top. We have our window switch right there, some storage down below, our speaker, and then our actual door handle, which is kind of a cheap plastic feeling and kind of rattly. And then we have all this black piano plastic, which is pretty prone to scratching up. Taking a look at these are the fake leather seats. So it's not like a real leather, it's like maybe vegan leather, I think they call it. Rear seat room is said to be around 38 inches. With this seat here back for my wife to sit, so not back all the way. This seat is back all the way. I have decent legroom. Again, for being a compact SUV, this is workable for sure. We do have nice mat pockets on both sides. We also have rear seat vents and also a USB, as well as a 12-volt power outlet down here. It's not wanting to open. We also have center armrest, which is nice and soft, along with a place to kind of stand up your phone, I guess, and then also two cup holders. And you can see there's that comical little window I was talking about earlier. Rear seat visibility, like just rear visibility in general, is pretty bad. Let's go ahead and head up to the front. Let's go ahead and head into the front area. Checking out the driver door. Let's see, we have dual sealed on the weather stripping there, which is nice to see. Door materials are pretty similar to the back, they're a little bit better. So we have the same soft touch here with the stitching, hard plastic here, and then this is an upgraded from the back soft touch injection molded plastic. All of these are kind of the same, and then we have this speaker grill right there. I don't think the back was covered in this black piano plastic. Nope, it's just flat. Kind of wish they kept the flat in the front. In general, this whole panel is just kind of a mishmash of materials and colors and contrasts, and it feels a little thrown together, albeit it is pretty nice to look at. And also the material usage is pretty nice in general. Stepping on inside, let's go ahead and start it up. There's a splash screen right there. All right, taking a peek inside of here. Starting on the left side down here, we have our headlight controls. We do have auto for our headlights, as well as our fog light controls right there. Here's to control the dimming. We have some nice vents up in there. Looking at our steering wheel here, it is a very nice unit. It has nice soft leather, a little bit of cushion on there, nice newer updated Jeep logo. Left side here we have the controls to control that screen in the middle. I'll go over that in 1 second. And then on the right side we have our adaptive cruise control. We also have on the back, we have our skip of the back of the seat right here, or back of the steering wheel right here. We have these. And that's for like the seat functionality. And then on the right side, on the back of it, we have our volume controls. We have our headlight stalks. This is for the auto high beams, as well as the turn signals. And then on the right hand side, we have our window wipers, which are actually automatic and rain sensing. So that's a nice plus on this one. These stalks are some of the worst feeling stalks. They move around a lot, and you can also see all my safety stuff keeps saying I have faults with it. But this is not me actually activating it, but it's very not good feeling. And then you kind of listen to it. Not the highest quality sound of the engagement of the stalk, as well as the actual turn signal itself. But going up here, it is kind of an older school gauge cluster with real physical controls on each side. So here's our gauge, or our tachometer, and then on the right hand side we have our speedometer. In the middle we have another redundant speedometer here to see it in digital form. We also, again using these buttons right here, can navigate through and see we have our vehicle info page. Can scroll through some different information on the vehicle. We can go down and see our driver assist, which nothing seems to be working there. I think something's supposed to come up. And then we have our fuel economy. You can see 30 on the dot since I reset it last. We see our trim information right here. And then our stop-start status, our audio status, and messages. We have some screen setup as well, and then our settings right there. And then we're back to our speedometer. Now looking at this material usage here, just in this general area, this is the same as on the door panels there, on this nice stitching. Even on the top part here, this is a nice material usage as well as it being pretty low reflectivity, which is nice to see. You can see here our stop start button, and then we have our center display. This is a 10.1 inch Uconnect 5 display. It's pretty snappy. I like how quick it is in general. You can go through and load up things around media, comfort. We can see our different options here. So we do have dual zone auto climate in here, which is really nice, as well as heated seats and heated steering wheel, which you can quick pull up from right here. The heated steering wheel, I use it a little bit. It got hot pretty quick, and then it really just kind of stopped being hot, so not totally sure what's going on with that. Overall though, the screen is a little set back and a little angled away from you, which is a little frustrating, and the colors on it are not the greatest. Resolution as well is not the greatest. So it's not the greatest experience of a screen, but it is a nice screen size. Continue to go through these. We also have our vehicle information here. You can go down to left here and look through the safety and driving assistance features, mirrors, wipers, camera, brakes, doors, locks, all that good stuff. And then our apps all the way over here to the right. Going past that, we have our auto stop start off right there. And we have our traction control off, our lane management off, our hazard switch, as well as our parking sensors off if they're covered in ice or something like that. And then coming down below here, we have our actual climate controls. So our dual zone climate right here to adjust that. our actual defrost options, auto versus not, our fan speed if you wanted to override that, the different mode, as well as the AC button, recirc button, screen off, the tune knob, the volume knob, and the mute switch right there. Down here we have a pretty deep console area there in the front, as well as a USB-C and USB-A. We have our parking control, our parking switch right here, our parking brake switch that is. Our different modes right here, we have sand, mud, we have snow, and auto. And then we have our 4-wheel drive lock button right there. And then down here we have some nice deep cup holders. They are kind of squarish, which is not the most practical. But on the plus side, they do fit Gator lights and other weird bottles like that pretty well. And then we've got our center console right here, which is pretty narrow, but pretty deep. As well as, nope, okay, it's just, it looks like, and we have our center console right here, which is, and we have our center console right here, which is pretty deep but pretty narrow. This is also not the softest material. It's a little, it's just kind of this very little give, and then under that is pretty hard. The rest of this gear in here, this is a pretty nice leather, and just again, this cabin does feel pretty nice. They put some money into it there. A lot of black piano plastic, as you can see. It looks pretty terrible with the little bit of dust that it has, and also it's scratched up pretty bad. But overall, really like the steering wheel and some of the other fit and finish pieces here, so that is cool to see. These seats are this leatherette material. They're pretty hot here in Michigan during August. I was sweating quite a bit. They're heated, just 2-stage, but they get the job done, and they're reasonably comfortable for longer trips as well. Finishing things off, we do have our auto dimming rear view mirror right here, and then we have some controls for those for the lighting up there. We do have these, a nice black headliner, number one, and then also these, the map pockets right here, or we have our visors right here, which are lit up. So in general, in conclusion, this is a pretty nice small option here. With this one, nice small crossover option from Jeep with some nice materials in this particular one. With this limited stickering in the low to mid 30,000 range, definitely a lot of money for what you're getting here. A pretty old product at this point, with some pretty bad powertrain modulation, which I'll cover more in the actual POV drive review that I do. But overall, not a terrible option. I wouldn't personally recommend it after living with it these past couple days. It's definitely not my personal cup of tea, and you can see with only 25,000 miles, we already have things that are broken around the safety suite of it. Talking about the sound system real quick, it is a 6-speaker sound system, and it sounds fine. It's not great. I know you can get some of the higher end, I want to say Alpine sound systems in this, which I would assume would be much better. Overall though, it does not sound terrible. With this sitting in the compact SUV, this SUV does face pretty stark competition, and this is probably not the best option out there at this point. Even the redesigned Equinox that I reviewed, somewhat recent, I would probably take over this. And even though it has pretty decent specs around having that standard turbocharged engine with 200 horsepower, it doesn't really feel like that due to the pretty bad powertrain calibration that they did on it. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you next time. Thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you at the next one.